En Puerto Rico la baila la charanga, 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 pachanga, charanga, 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 pachanga,
Shake your butt.
Costa Rica la baila la charanga, charanga, esos niños les gusta la pachanga, charanga, Puerto Rico la baila la charanga, charanga, en México se baila esa pachanga, charanga, charanga, pachanga, charanga, 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 pachanga, charanga. Esa cumbia, ¿cómo se baila? ¿Cómo se baila en Colombia? En México. Hagan una rueda, Juana, porque ya empezó a bailar. Esa morena mexicana, ahora va a ser hasta sudar. Muévete rica, que te la sabrosura. Muévete reina, que te dé la locura. Corre que baila, no te reina donde quiera. Por ese modo como mueve tu cadera. Baila como Juana la cubana, el ritmo que me gusta. No le invita a la mañana. Baila como Juana la cubana, paso para adelante, paso para atrás, pero no para. Baila como Juana la cubana, no baila la Juana, que queda hasta las 6 de la mañana. Baila como Juana la cubana, paso para adelante, paso para atrás.
Come here, come here.
Where you guys from?
Chicago.
Chicago?
Take it easy, Eric. Here. Take it easy on your sister.
Conmigo este sol, a ver compañero, esta es la cumbia del sol, esta es la cumbia del sol, ya del sol que vas a bailar, esta es la cumbia del sol, ya del sol que vas a bailar. big hand to our dancers, ladies and gentlemen. Vamos a cantar.
Come on, buddy.
Se necesita una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia y otra cosita, y arriba, ay, arriba, y arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré. Baila, bamba, baila, bamba, baila, bamba, baila, échale, échale, échale. Para bailar la bamba, para bailar la bamba, se necesita una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia y otra cosita. Ay, arriba, ay, arriba, ay, arriba, por ti seré, por ti seré. Everybody, come on. Baila bamba, baila bamba, baila bamba, baila bamba. Thank you.
Eric, we'll give her a hug.
Bye, Mary.
Say thank you.
Did you have fun? You did?
Come on, Bailey. Say thank you.
Look at the little girl. Oh, you silly sport. Eric, over here.
Yeah, they're all freezing our butts off. It's like 20 at home right now.
Okay, hi there everyone. Hi, my name is Allison and I would like to welcome you to the Disney MGM Studios Backlot Tour. We're going to begin your tour right here at our special effects water tank. Now water tanks just like this one continue to play a major role in action films. Here the explosive, out of control mayhem you may have seen in movies like Crimson Tide, The Rock, and Pearl Harbor can be created using large-scale physical and mechanical effects. The action is then filmed with a carefully planned sequence of events. Now today, unfortunately, due to the cold weather, we can't show you our show in its entirety. However, we can show you some of the talent that performs in our show. Special effects such as water cannons, pressurized bullet hits, which must be programmed and timed to match the quantity of visuals and eventually the pattern of the sound effects. And the last, and probably the most important physical effect in a scene like this is fire, which must be ignited at a precise moment. It will take a lot of time and work in order to reset the charges for those explosions. Those are some pretty special effects, huh? What'd you say? Yeah, Well, unfortunately, that's all we have for you today due to the cold weather. Hopefully you can come back when the weather cooperates and you can be a part of the action. So for now, please turn to your left to proceed down that ramp through the prop warehouse and we'll get you loaded on for the rest of your backlot tour. Enjoy the rest of your day here at the Disney MGM Studios. Bye, everyone.
Don't be a wiener.
It's like, we're kind of following totally doorway. You walk now?
What's really neat is they're always changing the props that are in here.
Academy Award-winning Ben Kingsley.
It's from Back to the Future.
Sissy Spacek. Jonathan Jackson. And Academy Award-winning
Party of 6.
Head to your left. Party of 2. Row 7, please. Another party of 2. Head to your left. Party of 2. Last.
As we get started here, also like to mention,
Who's getting in first?
Lisa?
Two from the tank can go into 3.
I think we're taking 2 lanes, yeah. We're taking.
4 here and 4, 2 again, 3. 4 here and 3 there.
Well, this is 4. Eric,
Well, yeah, but there's
sit
someone
here.
supposed to go in 3. Someone's supposed to go in 6, right?
Yes.
Alright, 4 of you in this row and then 2 of you in row 3.
Oh, that sucks. Okay.
Well, actually, since they're going on our left. Right. Doesn't really matter. Eric,
Doesn't really matter, you guys-
no one's on there. Come here.
Stay here.
You ever been on this before?
Eric, stay here.
Oh, you see the Christmas lights? Oh, we're gonna do choo-choo train? It's like a choo-choo train, honey. Yeah. But it's fun for you. No, there's no slides. Yay! It's fun for you. Yeah, come into this one. 2 of us in 4. It is fun to get high five. You want to get up, don't you? 1, 2, 3, jump. I know. Really, do the look. You did the look. I'll show you it. Con Felisa and Max? Okay. Oh, say hi, Daddy. Oh, you give Daddy a kiss? Oh, so nice.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second half of the Disney MGM Studios Backlot Tour. My name is Michelle, and I'll be your tour guide today. First thing that I need to do is get a sound check. So if you folks can hear me back there, give me a big wave up towards the front of the shuttle. Everybody that can hear my voice. Anybody in that second car? Okay, perfect. Now that I know that you can hear me, I know that you can hear my words of caution. For those of you sitting on the right-hand side of the shuttle, your right-hand side, where I am right here, probably gonna get just a little bit wet today. Just a little bit. It's not bad because it's not nearly as wet as those who are sitting on the left-hand side. Water in the attraction will come in from the left side. So if you'd like to trade places, please do so at this time. Because once the shuttle is in motion, there is no standing or trading of seats permitted. For your safety, keep your arms, legs, head, and all of your personal belongings to the side at all times. If you happen to drop something over the edge, you cannot stop to pick it up. There's other traffic out there besides us. But if you do happen to drop something, just let us know at the end of the tour, and we'll send someone out to retrieve whatever is left over of that item. Chances are one of our 26 tires will find it before we do, and there's 2 other shuttles out there besides us. So make sure you hold on to all those loose objects. For the courtesy of those around you, we do ask that you refrain from smoking, but you are permitted to take as many pictures and as much video as you would like. There are no photo restrictions on our tour, so you might want to keep your cameras handy and ready to roll. You never know who or what you might see. We're the Florida counterparts of the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank, California. As I said before, my name is Michelle. I'm your tour guide. I'm just one half the team. We couldn't go anywhere without your fabulous driver, Don. He's up there in the cab steering us safely through. Wow, you get the applause back here. To begin the tour then with the symbol and landmark of our studios. Look high in the sky towards the front of our shuttle, you'll see the award-winning Earful Tower. Now, that water tower's design is based on one that Walt Disney had built for his Burbank Studios in 1939. Our version stands a lucky 13 stories tall and is capped off with a giant set of Mickey Mouse ears, each weighing in at over 5,000 pounds. And ironically, the tower does not contain a single drop of water, but it does have a hat size of 342 3/8. You're probably wondering, why in the world do they know the hat size of a water tower? Well, that's because in holiday seasons past, we've topped it off with a giant red and white stocking cap. For those of you sitting on the right-hand side, you'll get a much better view in just a moment. I'll let you know when we get there. The Disney MGM Studios is much more than a theme park. We're a high-tech working production center featuring sound stages, outdoor sets, recording studios, and state-of-the-art editing facilities, which means we have everything we need to accommodate any television, film, or radio production. Usually, we have a number of productions taking place. Well, today's no exception. We've had a crew in town using one of our outdoor sets, and they've been testing some new special effects. If we can get clearance, we'll drive you and just take a quick look around. You should know a little bit later on if we've received that clearance. In the meantime, take a look to your right. You'll see the first of many props that you'll see on today's tour. These are replicas of P-40 aircraft used in last summer's hit film Pearl Harbor. Now, these are 2 of 16 that were made for the film. They are the only 2 that survived. The other 14 were destroyed during the attack scene. They're molded from a real P-40 Warhawk plane out of fiberglass, covering a steel frame, and those propellers are wood, which is spun by hydraulic motors inside. If you saw the film, you probably remember there were a lot more than 16 planes in it. And you're right, they used 12 real working aircraft, and all the other planes you saw were just computer-generated images. As we come out of our U-turn, take a look off to your right-hand side this time. High in the sky once again, you'll get your best eyeful of our Earful Tower. That's as close as we can get to it right there, folks. You might want to take a quick picture, because right now we're ducking indoors to visit one of the most glamorous parts of our studios. Now, this is our award-winning creative costuming department, where the whole process begins with a designer's sketch. You can see some of that artwork up on the walls to either side. Then from there, our seamstresses and tailors turn the drawings into finished garments worn by our performers. You'll see costumes in the display cases to your left, worn by stars like Reese Witherspoon and Patrick Dempsey, and Sweet Home Alabama, Dennis Quaid and Jay Hernandez and the Rookie, Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix from Signs, Angelica Houston and Gwyneth Paltrow and the Royal Tenenbaums, and Alexis Bledel, Ben Kingsley, and Sissy Spacek from Tuck Everlasting. Our team of over 250 skilled professionals goes through about 1.5 million yards of fabric every year to make more than 25,000 costumes, and that makes us the largest working wardrobe in the entire world. Coming up on your right is a blacklight painting studio. This is where scenic artists work on murals for attractions like Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Fantasmic. Most recently, they wrapped up work on backdrops for a new attraction called Mission Space that's set to open at Epcot sometime in 2003. Back over to your left, the last large room is our main scenic shop. This is where craftsmen build all of the sets for productions that take place right here on our sound stages, as well as out on location. They've made everything from the Wheel on Wheel of Fortune to a recreation of the interior of the U.S. Supreme Court for a mini-series called Separate but Equal. Now, one of the most magical things about the movies is they can take you just about anywhere, from the house next door to a dangerous canyon to the bottom of the ocean. We're now headed into our backlot where we can visit each and every one of these places. For example, if we wanted to film an undersea adventure, we come right over here to the green tent on your left. As we pass by the flag, it looks like a great big swimming pool, and it's actually our underwater camera special effects tank. The bottom of that pool has been made to look like the ocean floor, providing a safer, more controllable environment for filming. Originally built for Terry Holt Hogan's series Thunder in Paradise, it was most recently used for an episode of America's Most Wanted. And right now we're headed on to Residential Street, but before you pack your bags to move in, you might want to take a look through that first house over on your right. And yes, I did say through, straight to the backyard. All the houses here on Residential Street are just facades or false fronts. They have no backs and no insides. They're used just for exterior shots. And since different scripts fall for different neighborhoods, each of the 8 houses here represents a different style of American architecture. The second one on your right, number 242, is very special to us. This is the one that Jim Varney chose to be Vern's house in Ernest Saves Christmas. That was the first full-length feature shot here at our studios in 1988, 1 year before we opened the park to you, our guests, in May of 1989. And since that time, each of these houses have been used in a television program, commercial, or movie. You'll probably recognize a few as we head down the road. By far, our most famous is the beige Hawaiian style on your left. For 7 of its Emmy Award-winning seasons, this was home to Blanche, Rose, Sophia, and Dorothy. This is the Golden Girls house. All the exterior shots were done here in Central Florida, and then edited together with interior footage done on a soundstage in California, which is why you never saw the Golden Girls in their front yard. The Blue Cape Cod style home was Alice's house in the Disney Channel educational series, Adventures in Wonderland. And directly across the street, we have the neighbors to the Golden Girls. That 2-story facade was home to the Wacky Westons of Empty Nest, which starred Richard Mulligan, Dinah Manoff, Christy McNichol, and Mara the dog as Dreyfus. And you probably noticed all of our Christmas decorations. We're getting ready for the Osborne Family Spectacle of Lights. That's our holiday light display that will begin the weekend after Thanksgiving and run through the beginning of January. And although you may think it's a little early to set up Christmas decorations, they have over 5 million lights to prepare, and it takes about 3 months to get all of this ready. Our crews have been working since just around Labor Day.
We have to come make sure
Take a look to your left, you'll see the urban counterpart to Residential Street. That's New York Street over there, and we'll pass by a little bit later in the tour. I'll tell you more about it then. But for right now, we're going to head even further into the back lot to a place called the Boneyard. Now, it's not really a scary place like it sounds. It's more like a big outdoor attic. That's where we store all the oversized props, just in case we need to use them for another production. We start ours off with 3 wooden totem heads from the 13th Warrior, which starred Antonio Banderas, and Christopher Lloyd blew that silver and red spacecraft as My Favorite Martian. For you Star Wars fans, we have a sand skiff from Return of the Jedi and a snow speeder used in The Empire Strikes Back. Now, most of the military vehicles you see were chosen by director Steven Spielberg for Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. So we pass by the tank, look at the tread that's on it, and you'll see it's melt metal, it's foam rubber. Saved a lot of wear and tear on Harrison Ford and Sean Connery as they were thrown on top of it tank after tank. We also have 2 mining cars used in the chase scenes of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Speaking of Doom, this is Judge Doom's Toontown Nickelmobile from the Oscar award-winning film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. From that same movie, we also have a Pacific Electric trolley car. But if you take a closer look, you'll see that it's not really a trolley at all. It's actually a modified bus. And what looks like steel wheels are just fiberglass covers that hide the bus's tires. The 3 blue Plymouths are also from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. They're 3 of 7, used to represent 1 car in different stages of construction. The blue helicopter cockpit was used for close-up shots of Blue Thunder, that starred Roy Scheider and Daniel Stern, and we have 2 vintage airplanes from the Rocketeer. The long black speedboat was custom built for a TV program. It's called Disney Presents The 100 Lives of Black Jack Savage. We have a fleet trainer in glide pod from the film Starship Troopers, and then you might recognize the silver space pod on the end. That's Max from Flight of the Navigator. Take a look across the canal. You'll see the back of Residential Street, and you see it's not nearly as pretty on this side. All the architectural details stop out of camera range. We get little cameras on my feet. Get it? Okay, good. It looks like we're taking a little detour, which is good news for us. Up ahead is what we call a standing set. That's where they're testing the special effects I told you about earlier in our tour. Caught him on a breaker between tanks. Over the bridge. I think it's kind of bumpy in here. So make sure to hold on to all those loose items and small children. And please, for your safety, remain seated at all times. This canyon is modeled after one that actually exists in Southern California, and it took our crew about 6 months to build it. That's a pretty long time to build one set. But if you consider how long it takes Mother Nature to build a real thing, 6 months really isn't all that bad. Now you're not able to see it from here, but just above us is a platform. That's where the crews will set up their cameras to film down into the canyon. It looks like we're going to let down here, so no one should be able to stop. So you guys can take pictures and shoot a little video, and we won't bounce around everywhere that way. And you'll see that large oil tanker across the way. Just a couple of weeks ago, that was a part of our boatyard. The crew got into town, the director decided that he wanted something a little bit extra on the set. Well, as you can see, there's no way to drive it in here across the ravine. They had to use a crane to hoist it over the edge of the canyon and lower it down in place for this shot. So all day today, they've been working on a rain effect in here. And that's one of the great things about the Backlot. We can either control the weather. Okay. Or at least when he's up here giving us a demonstration of Hollywood rain. Okay, well, this rain effect is created with water nozzles mounted just out of the camera's range. You spray the water in a crisscross way to make it look like it's falling from naturally. One thing too, guys. Production crew, I just want to cut this take. I've got guests on this cell down here. Guys, seriously, you can't clear it. Don't I cut this? Okay, hang up again. Okay, hold on. We'll be out with it. Small yellow pipes carried the propane for the fires and explosions, and the larger gray pipes carried the water for the flash flood. Now that flood began when we opened the gates to 3 large holding tanks on top of the canyon, sending 70,000 gallons of water crashing down towards our shuttle. And for a little extra effect, we blasted some of that water in using air cannons. And those air cannons are powerful enough. If we took one to New York City and stuffed a basketball into it, we could launch the basketball up and over the Empire State Building with room to spare. And then down here, all the ends, pumps 2 and 3 are quickly working to recycle all of that water back up to the top for the next show. Pasadena Canyon was originally created with the help of the Hollywood Special Effects team. And what looks like an out-of-control disaster is really a safe, computerized sequence of events, and it can all be reset in just 3.5 minutes. Well, from the canyons of California, we're headed back to the streets of New York. Sit back and hold on tight, folks. We'll be cross-country in record time. And coming up on your right is a plane that's very special to us here at the Walt Disney World Resort. That was known to airports across the country as the 234 Mickey Mouse. That was Walt Disney's personal plane that he used to fly himself and his Imagineers between New York and California for the 1964 World's Fair. That's where he introduced audio animatronics and attractions like It's a Small World and great moments with Mr. Lincoln, which is now the Hall of Presidents at the Magic Kingdom. But the plane was also used to fly secret scouting missions all over Central Florida, looking for the perfect place for what Walt called the Florida Project. Well, today we call the Florida Project the Walt Disney World Resort. And we're going to make one last turn. Everybody in the front of the shuttle can now wave to everybody in the back. Hi, guys. Everybody's keeping up very nicely back there. Hello. You take a look through the